Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for having me here. I'm happy to give you an update on how we're doing on the master plan. I'm sure you're all familiar with the quite a bit of construction that we've got going on all over the place, and I think that the college is really adapting to change and rolling with it. I think it was kind of there was a culture shock at first, which we always expect. And then people are, getting more and more used to it, and we're pleased to see a real great spirit of cooperation and helping out. So it's been, I think, overall a good experience for the college and the community. This is the brief update on the list of the overall current plans. Just to give you a quick update, the geothermal system is the big geothermal field and the lateral piping. That's scheduled for completion December of next month, actually. They'll be putting the geothermal pumps into the basement of the central plant, the new basement. South Lake Chemistry Lab is under construction. It will be, it's scheduled for completion in March of 2016. I know that the board meeting is there in March, so Vicki reminds us of that at every project meeting. So she's going to have cupcakes for everybody in March for your board meeting. The campus signage, this is the monument signs portion of the work. It is under contract. We actually are in the submittal phase, and we have a pre-construction meeting tomorrow morning. Cafeteria addition and core remodeling. If you look out your window, you'll see that job. It is scheduled for completion July 2016, and they are on schedule. The A and B renovations is in procurement right now. We have opened bids on all bid packages. I think there were 16 bid packages under the CM contract. We have opened all except for the electrical. We are opening the electrical bid on Thursday. That bid was extended, and the reason being was that we had gotten feedback from electrical contractors that it looked like we were only going to have one bidder. And we're expecting that package alone to be in excess of $6 million. And I did not want to come to the board with one bidder on a project that size. So we have tried outreach. Procurement has contacted various contractors to try to encourage participation, and we did extend the bid date on that package by 2 weeks to try very hard to generate competitive bidding. What we find in this area, in the electrical contracting, is there are very few electrical contractors in this area that have the bonding capacity for a job of that size. So we are, we're faced with that, and we're trying to make sure we get the solution that we can. Down the road a little bit is the parking lot 7 and 7A reconstruction, parking lots 2 and 3 resurfacing, the science building construction, which you know is under construction right now, science building interior renovations, and then finally on the list of the current projects is the police department construction in the E building. I have an asterisk by those 4 projects because those dates are dependent on the science building completion. And I'm going to actually turn that back over to David in a minute. I'll cycle through the projects and let David talk about the impact of the science building schedule, not only the work that is relevant to the science building itself, but the I'll talk a little bit about the ripple effect it has on other projects. Geothermal system, there you can see the bore field is completed, the distribution piping is completed, except for that last stub into the basement of the cafeteria. So in the red box, that's the work remaining, and it's scheduled to happen next month. Please stop me if you have questions as we go. South Lake, I mentioned this one. This is an update of where we're at. The shell has been constructed. The mechanical, electrical, and plumbing rough-in is in progress. Building enclosure by December 24th, but it'll probably be earlier than that. They're going to be putting the windows in the week of December 3rd. So, and the roof is already on, the rigid insulation is on, they're starting the masonry, started it today, actually. So that one is, the contractor on this is doing a great job. We had a stall earlier in the job because we uncovered some mysterious piping that nobody knew what it was, where it was going, so that delayed the job while we had that jetted, had that videoed, tried to make sure of what it's connected to, what's coming into it, and where is it going. So that did pose a delay on the project, but the contractor is Bowler Construction, and they have been doing an outstanding job making up every day that they can. I'm really enjoying working with them.
You know, I wasn't born here, but I would expect that land in Vernon Hills was not developed before CLC built the first
Well, we do remember, if you'll recall, I don't know if you're very familiar with the Vernon Hills, of course you are, the Vernon Hills campus, but they have the R building there, the old building.
Yeah.
And the pipe that we discovered was coming out of the R building, and it was about a 10-inch reinforced concrete. Well, yeah, that's what it looked like, exactly, a 10-inch concrete pipe. That's a pretty good sized pipe, so it's not the kind of thing you just want to say, let's just cut it off. So anyway, we did have to do an investigation to figure out what is this and so forth, and is anything else tying into it that we can't see even on the video and so forth. So, you know, it's just business as usual in construction.
So how'd you fix it? Just
well,
cut
it
off?
turns out that the only thing that was connected to that was the sump pump. The only thing. The only thing that was connected to it was the sump pump. So we confirmed that it's a fairly new sump pump that you have in the pit there, and it had enough lift, just like you might do in your basement. It had enough lift to go up, over, and then back down and out. And so, you know, problem solved. But it did take actually several weeks of investigation, arguing, more investigation, and so forth.
When I first came to the board, there was a fellow who was probably retired, but who would know him? Robert or Rich? You know, he was the in charge of the facility.
Mike Anthony.
Mike Anthony?
It doesn't. Glasses. Always looked like he was a pretty astute person.
Gene Coolin was before, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Anthony was here 15 years.
Yeah.
Well, interesting story.
Oh yeah, I love it. Actually, I think I'm very fortunate. I've been in this industry for 35 years, and I still enjoy my job. So I think that's a lucky thing to have. Campus signage, I mentioned we're going to be starting the pre-construction meeting is tomorrow for the monument signs. And the building renaming is still under review. We're gathering information about the proposed renaming. Here we have the cafe addition and the core remodeling. Again, you can see most of this work right outside the windows. The contractor on this job has been doing really an outstanding job, very responsive. They are on time, which I really like, and they run a really well and tight job site. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to be here, like at prime time, like 10 o'clock in the morning. They will sometimes have 20 trade workers out there, and it is a well-organized job site. They're not getting in each other's way, and very little of that standing around watching other people work. So it's yeah, and I think that they also are working kind of in a fishbowl. So everybody is exactly. Everybody is keeping tabs on the contractor. And occasionally I'll get a call from somebody giving me an unofficial update that I will follow up on, and we do. There you go, scheduled completion, still summer 2016. The A and B renovations, again, this is a complete renovation. The entire area is going to be completed in 4 phases. Phase 1 is actually the core, which is what we're doing now. Phase 2 is scheduled to get started in January. That is the west half of the B wing primarily. Our next major moves are December of 2015, so we have been through, the move process here with the college community, and they're kind of getting, understanding the program and so forth. And, very cooperative. And so anyway, the overall construction is scheduled to run from January 2015 through December of 2017. and that gets the A and B renovation done. The science building, the steel erection and floor slabs are in progress as of this week. Their end date for the new construction portion of this work is still like on the books, it's still on paper, if you will, for summer of 2016. But the enclosure was originally scheduled for December of 2015, and they are now projecting it to February of 2016. So it's looking like the science building, which you know is a CDB project, it's looking to me like it's running about 2 months behind schedule. And it does have a ripple effect on other jobs that I want to make sure the board is aware of. David, do you want to jump in here, or do you want me to finish chatting and then?
Finish, yeah.
Okay. Lake Shore?
I'll finish with the ramifications.
Oh, the ramifications,
Now.
okay. All right, so to finish with the ramifications, I'm going to go back to the earlier slide where I had the asterisk, if you don't mind, bear with me. You can see that I have the asterisk at parking lot 7 and 7A construction. Once the site is turned over back to us for the construction of the parking lot, they are scheduled to do that in April of 2015. So I can rebuild lot 7. 7 and 7A will be one continuous, sensible parking lot. And then the following summer, we're scheduled to do parking lots 2 and 3 resurfacing. There's also the interior renovations that are part of the science building project. And then there's also the CNC lab renovation. I don't think that's on my schedule there, but the CNC lab renovation is a little bit down the road, but I can't do it until those people can move into the science building. So, it does have a ripple effect on other projects. As I said, I wanted to make sure that the board is familiar with this and hearing that these things are linked together. They're not a standalone deal. So I'll get back to where I was.
As of last Thursday, we were in attendance at the construction meeting. On paper, they are showing a month behind, but the construction team, not including the contractor, and this does include the Capital Development Board, believes that the pace that they have been on and appear to be going on will take a minimum of 2 and potentially 3 months overdue, late for completion of the new construction. As you know, you have on your agenda tonight for us to only continue advance funding only up to protecting the asset as it is now. So getting it enclosed, I'd like to call it winterizing, but by the time it will be enclosed, the winter will be nearly over. But at least we will have it protected by the elements from there. We all don't know when the state logjam will open up, but I do think that going beyond that point is starting to be a little bit more risky now, and I think it's prudent to wait. I'm not horribly concerned that the amount that you'll be authorizing that will reach by February or March. We did have one pay up, and that's all the monthly invoices coming together that approached $3 million. I thought I was going to get another one close to that, and it was only $600,000. So we've only had 2 processed in this time period. Again, at the pace that they're going, it would be very difficult for them to spend that amount of money by March of this year.
So all of you are clear on that? What David's really saying in the item, we're going to ask for that additional funding, but our take on it, because of the speed they're going partially, is the budget issues better be settled by then, where the whole state's going to be. So we're going to keep this moving.
So David, you anticipate that we'll eventually recoup that money?
Well, the first 12 million of that is our match.
Right.
It's the
This
next
is up and above it, though.
That's an additional 2.2 million, and I do anticipate we will.
That we will recoup it from the state?
Right, I
Responded.
I don't think people would like to see that building in a campaign commercial.
So is